I started like genuinely understanding things instead of like pretending to understand things and be like, oh, it couldn't be me, it couldn't be me. That was like my slogan back in the day, but now it's like, low-key it couldn't be me, but it's less. Hey, hey there. Okay, bro. Hi, welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna be talking about therapy and healing and whoop-de-boom. It's been like a hot minute since I started therapy. Like a couple months. So the other day I was feeling a little down and I was feeling a little tired and I was feeling treacherous and I was like, wow, this is a little exhausting. So I didn't have energy to film that day, obvi, but I have energy to film today and I'm on a incline and things feel a lot better today. So I just wanted to really delve into the topic of, you know, therapy and healing and all this new age stuff and really give you guys like the low down, dirty down. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be like fairly vague if it comes to any like issue concerning me, obviously, because attorney-client privilege. So yeah, in general, I think that like, I think once you become an adult or just in general, as you get older, you need to just decide what kind of person you want to be, because I was having a conversation with these people before, this group of people, and they were like, oh, like, da, 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 just complaining about relationships, right? And they were like, yeah, but you know, like people do this and blah, 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 and da, da, da. And I was just like, okay, well, how do you react to it? And they're like, and I'm just like, okay, well, we're adults, so how people treat you, obviously you can't control that, but like the type of life that you want to lead and how you react to that, that's your business. So if you don't fix yourself up, and that's your business, sorry. The older you get, the more it's your responsibility and the less sympathy you're gonna get for like, oh, I was raised this way, or like people treated me bad when I was younger, because it's like we don't really care. With love, adults really don't care, because like we're all going through it. Like, you know, you got your business, like on mine. So yeah, the older you get, like the more it's really just on you. Do you want to change or not? Do you want to stop the cycle or not? And yeah, that's also very underwhelming. Like healing is like a double-edged sword. Like there's two sides to the coin. It's so great once you're like, you know, on the other side of it. I don't know when I'm gonna be fully on the other side of it, but you know, I have my good moments, but like it's so great, but it's also very like taxing and exhausting and makes you a little resentful, because you're like, you did this to me? No. On like the downsides, I think the biggest thing is that like it's really, really exhausting, because a lot of it is like reliving your past. So like, let's say you came from an abusive household and you're trying to heal from that. A lot of that healing is going to be like revisiting, like, I don't know, like my mom did this, my dad did this, that didn't feel too good, that didn't feel too great. So a lot of it is like reliving it and like acknowledging what happened, and then like, but this is how I choose to move forward. And yeah, like that's a very sweet way of putting it, because like that actions wise, like if you were to see that on a person, it would like, you would see like a lot, like you would see a mess. So yeah, like it's definitely a lot of work. It's really, really exhausting. Some resentment comes in a little bit sprinkled. Yeah, it's just exhausting reliving things, because like you already went through it and you barely made it out by the skin of your teeth. So you have to even revisit, and that is definitely no fun. Like once you actually start making progress, you just look back on your life kind of like in awe. Like it sounds corny, but sometimes I gotta be corny. But no, it sounds corny, but it's like kind of like seeing color for the first time. Like before you grew up in black and white, and then like you're out on your own and you're like, oh my goodness, I see the color. So yeah, it's definitely necessary and it's super beneficial, but it's just a long, hard, taxing process. Also, another thing that's like kind of like a downside is like the more you like get better, the higher you get. Like when you have like your off days, or when you have your bad days, or like bad stuff happen, like it feels a lot worse than it did before, because like, let me do a little graph, okay? So let's say before you were like living your life right here, just like all the time. So like your high was like and your low was like so it just all felt the same. But now like you're healed, you're like, oh, don't hurt them. So your highs get all the way up here. Your lows are still kind of like the same place, but it just feels like that's a drop. So it just feels like a bigger drop. So it's just like, oh my goodness, like how could this happen to me after I thought I was gonna be good, but I'm not good? And yeah. I hope everything that I'm saying makes sense. If it doesn't, just bear with me and just like, I don't know, like pause and think and like comment. It's a really long process because you're like essentially like remaking yourself. Like I feel like how you I feel like how you were raised is kind of like part one, if that makes sense, and then how you choose to live your life is like part two. So if like part one was bad, like it's gonna be a lot harder to get to part two because you have to literally like undo every single thing that happened in part one. That's not easy. It's not easy being me, you know, that's not easy. So it's definitely a lot of work. When you experience something new or just like experience things in general, since you want to operate as a new person, as a healthy person, whatever, like everything you experience, you can't just like go about it with what feels comfortable, because what feels comfortable is like usually not healthy. So you have to go out of your way with like everything, like whatever, friendships, dating, how you work, how you rest, how you blah, 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 like everything, you have to go about it in a different way and you have to unlearn that. And that feels like you don't just get to live your life authentically. It feels like, what does it feel like? Like, it just feels like every time you try to enter a new era, you just get like ripped back to the past, which is really exhausting. And it just always feels like one step forward, like 37 steps back. But it's not. It just feels that way. Yeah, I think that therapy has like just like humanized me a lot, because when I was younger, I was like super solution orientated and super like preventative, which I think you could probably still see a pinch of it now. Don't do me, not too much. But yeah, I'm super like, how do we get to a solution and how do we even prevent it from happening? All that in between, all that emotion is for the bums. I'm not trying to hear it. But and I think that like, although I do have a deep sense of empathy, that kind of like distanced me from people, because like the mistakes that they made, I couldn't see myself in like making those mistakes, because I'm like, I would know better. If someone treated me like that, I would do it. Like everything was just very, very robotic, and like 2 + 2 = 4. There's no in between. Like there's no human emotion. There's no human experience. So therapy definitely helped me rehumanize. And with that, I think it also improved like my outlook on life, because I started like genuinely understanding things instead of like pretending to understand things and be like, oh, it couldn't be me, it couldn't be me. That was like my slogan back in the day, but now it's like, low-key it couldn't be me, but it's less. No, I'm kidding. But it just taught me that like, with understanding like humans more and like just understanding my emotions more, it helped me understand people's emotions more. And it helped me understand that like stuff happens for a reason. And I know that sounds stupid and really basic, but like it's really true. Like, I don't know, like patterns continue for a reason. Like humans get in these situations for reasons. Like friendships are unhealthy for a reason. Relationships are unhealthy for a reason. Like it's not just as simple as like, oh, tomorrow I want to be getting beat by my partner, so I'm gonna go do that. You know what I mean? Like stuff happens for a reason, and like a lot of times it's like a really valid one. And like if you were in their position, like there's a high chance it could happen to you too. So yeah, that really helped me to like really further my empathy, so that it's like, I don't know, like I'm just like, a lot of situations, instead of being like, oh, it couldn't be me, I'm just like, I'm very grateful that it's not me, because like, I don't know what I would be doing. I don't. Also, and this has been juicy. And like another thing that I learned in therapy is that, I think not really therapy, but just like therapy coupled with like more life experience, is that like intensity and speed are usually like bad markers. So like if you meet someone and like instantly you're all in and blah, 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 and you just feel everything, blah, 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 like within the first day, the first week, like there's a high chance that something good's not happening here. But yeah, like usually slow burns are more healthy. And obviously this is a case-by-case situation, but a lot of my unhealthy relationships have been very like, like the second I get it, I just get so excited, and then like, you know, you feel all these emotions and you're like, oh my goodness, it's euphoria, like I'm in la la la, I'm gonna be good. That usually is not a good marker. Like a little slow and steady, and okay, maybe I want to chit chat with you again, and okay, maybe you made me laugh again, you know, like slow and steady is usually a lot healthier. Realistically, everything centers back to childhood and that yummy stuff, you know, how you were raised and blah, 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 your family dynamic, and like your relationship with your mom and your dad and your siblings, because those were your first intimate relationships. And if those relationships were unhealthy and that was your definition of normal, then like going out, the relationships that you're gonna feel most comfortable in are gonna be unhealthy ones. So the relationships you're gonna feel most comfortable in are the ones that resemble the ones you were raised on. So if you were raised in like super unhealthy spaces, like you really have to be very, very vigilant as you go out and to not like continue the cycle. And the relationships that feel comfortable, just like double check, like, are we actually like good here? Like, am I dripping? Like, And honestly, I can't really think of anything else. Hopefully everyone lives the absolute best life in the world. And so, kisses, XO, XO. Thanks for watching.